Yes, good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to this short broadcast or this short presentation here. I'm Ernest Kumba, and this is the month of June as we head on to this summer season convention coming up again, especially here in the US, where we seem to be the breadwinner of our homeland, where there will be a lot of fundraising coming together to raise funds to help little project here and there in Cameroon, and we'll be discussing about CUDA USA Incorporation, we stand for Njieh Culture and Development USA, where they'll be doing a fundraising as usual to sponsor water project, school, different socio-economic activity in Njieh, Lebanon. And this year convention is a little bit different. It's more than what is usually used to be. And the date of that convention is going to take place on the 20th of this month of June. Today is the 1st of June. So it will be on the 20th of June in Columbus, Ohio. So we'll be putting out the flyer and the location where the convention will actually take place. And we'll be bringing in two panelists, the convention chair, Mr. Roland Leke Atem, together with President Emeritus of CUDA USA, Mr. Sylvain Monfort, who is the book launch chair. And this is a very important topic that before I bring them in, I really want to talk about this particular book that I think they have circulated on different WhatsApp in Lebanon cultural heritage from the origin to 2025. The origin. I know that one said the oranges, trying to confuse. So from the beginning to 2005, it's a rich book that will be discussing on it. It is written by sons and daughters of Njieh across different generations, across the background. It's not a one-person book. Edited by, by a well-renowned scholar like Dr. David Nkembeza, a PhD in educational leadership, University in Finland, Jigaserbia, Atem Nzirefa, PhD in African Literature, University of Boya, Cameroon, and Isidore Chamji, PhD in Educational Studies, McGill University in Canada, that is in Montreal. So you can see that it is well coordinated research, literature review, and all of that. So we'll dive into that. I'll take time to talk about the book because NGA convention is already something that people have known. They usually have their convention after every 2 years. So let me bring in our panelists so that we'll dive into it. Let me bring in the president, the convention chair, and the president emeritus. I want to welcome both of you this evening. This is Monday, June 1st, the first day of the month, and the convention is going to take place on the 20th in your own home city. Let me start with the convention chair. How far have you gone with preparations?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. As far as concerning the preparation for our upcoming convention, we have barely 3 weeks to our convention. So we had a meeting yesterday, as usual. We always have our updates on Sundays, and everything is been going very well. Now, the only thing we are doing now is just dotting the I and crossing the T's, and so far there's no measure like difficulties that the different committee they are facing, and that's why even though after the meeting we have to do like some follow-ups, but so far so good, everything is going on well.
Okay, yes, thank you now for that brief introduction. And again, what would be the theme of this convention and what would NGA people actually focusing on? I remember at some point, I think that was last 2 years, the goal was to rehabilitate the hospital, the health center, and the opening of the school, which we are gathered the NGA Fungal Technical Institute is now functioning. The school is equipped. I mean, we have done reporting there. So, what would this year be focusing on?
So just as the theme says, rebuilding Njieh, and strengthening education, healthcare, and economic activities for sustainable community development. And this year so far, we have a health center that's NCUDA rehabilitated they rehabilitated that health center. So we are looking forward to, because in any community, if there is no healthcare, I don't think that community should they will have some difficulties. So that's why we are focusing more on rebuilding J first by strengthening our healthcare and education. And just like you said, there's a technical school which is operational in J now, and then there is, in the past there used to be, there's a market which is already functional. So when you put these three items together, healthcare, education, and economy, you see that we are working towards this in order to alleviate our people, in order to uphold our people back home, and so that with the crisis that everybody knows, we are trying to bring everything back in order.
Thank you, Mr. Convention Chair. Yes, President Emeritus, over to you now. I'll talk about this book, Njieh, the Bank Cultural Heritage from the Origin to 2025, Volume 1. I think this is first of its kind that we are writing, that Njieh is producing the book. So do you have a little bit of a history, background on how this idea to write a book about Njieh cultural heritage started?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Dr. Ernest Kumba, and thank you for the wonderful work you and Gaza Media are doing to bring Lebang in particular and Libya Alem into the spotlight in the social communication platforms. The history book is a project that started like a joke, and we took upon ourselves and said, okay, we have come to the realization that not only our history, not our only Lebang history is being distorted by foreigners or by outsiders, but again, we are losing a lot of facts about, as far as a people. So people took upon themselves and said, okay, we need to be different because like the common say goes, learning begins in J. People took upon themselves that they were going to document their history, and a team of Njieh sons and daughters came together, formed a team, and went into research and started this project. It has taken us 4 years to get to where we are today, to the realization of this book. And again, it is edited by written by sons and daughters of NGA, edited by sons and daughters of NGA, and published by, sponsored by NCUDA-USA, which is one of their key projects for 2026 as we move towards our convention this year.
Yes, thank you. I know the book will actually be launched at the convention page. Some of the conversation that I've heard, that yeah, because I think this is one of the key things, documenting the heritage. Like you rightly said, it is important that we tell our own history. People always say, "Oh, let no one tell your history. You should be the first to tell your own history." And you also mentioned that in the book cut across the bank. Can you substantiate on that statement?
Yes, sure. The NGA history book, it is difficult to talk about NGA without talking about Lebang, without talking about the Ngwe tribe or the Ngwe people as a whole. So this book covers NGA, not only NGA, it covers NGA Lebang, extending into Soata, extending to our neighbors from the eastern province, from the eastern Cameroon or the eastern part of Cameroon, which are the Bamileke. It stretches down to our neighbors in the down south, the people from the Bayang tribe, and how these communities are intertwined or intermarried to.
Yes, sorry. Uh, I
Yeah,
think I have.
somewhere. Are you around the airport? Oh, yeah. So this book has actually not. It doesn't only focus on J. Lebang. It touches the various villages like Atelaso, Fondo Atelaso. It touches areas like Belangangaga. It touches our neighbors in the eastern borders, the Bamileke tribe or the Bamileke people. It touches our neighbors from the other side of where the Soata people. And our neighbors down the south, the Bayang tribes, and it also showcased how the various communities have influenced the culture and the traditions of Njieh people.
Yes, thank you. I think, yeah, I think it's also important to highlight. I think that is quite true because I mean, when I was reading through this book, I already have a privilege to have a copy. I've not read the entire book, but I ran through. I think on page 44, on section 427, where it talk about the traditional council, Achimalemo, where it explained the importance of Achimalemo as being a constitutional authority to seek a compromise between persons engaged in serious dispute or allegation against one another or a group of people. It also seeks reconciliation to compromise unity within given chiefdom or fondom. This constitute all of this. So, I mean, this is a book that is not just talking about the history of NGA, but it's also explaining the governance of a community, so to speak, the structure of how when people have dispute or if there's a conflict, unlike the more like kind of the ecosystem where it explains how it will start from say a chiefdom like Njieh, where it will start at Achimalemo Njieh, then if it's not able to resolve, then the situation escalate, then it will go to the Fontaine Palace, which is kind of the supreme of the bank. Just like in the court system where you have a court, then you go to the Supreme Court, so to speak. So I think this is a book that is important that people can grab them. And if I may ask you, what would be the cost? What is the cost of a book like this? People can have a look at it.
Yeah, the cost price at this moment is $25 a PA copy, and this is a 264 pages book, high quality for 225 dollars a copy. You will not only learn about NGA, you will learn about Leban, you will learn about the Bangwa culture, the Leban culture, traditional authority in Leban, and especially with chieftaincy, especially with the situation in which we find ourselves today, where people are losing, our traditional institutions seem to be losing their face value because of modernity. So it's a must-have book for each and every son and daughter of Leban or of a Nwe tribe.
Okay. Yeah, I think in due time, we'll be able to have detailed information where if somebody need a copy, where they can, maybe if they save money, then maybe with shipping costs, or where they can get copy if people live in around Maryland area where maybe they can grab a copy and start that. So I want to thank you for taking the time to share a little bit on this. We'll be discussing more again on this book. I think after the launching is done, we'll actually maybe go into details and talk more. Coming back to the convention, you were the president looking at the current state of NGA, the trajectory or the transformation that is going on, do you think NGA is heading in the right direction in terms of development?
Always, always. You know, NCUDA USA has been existing for more than 20 years today, and no two conventions are the same, have ever been the same, and they will never be the same. And we are blessed to have the kind of leadership we have, starting from our father, His Royal Highness Njieh Fonge, to the leaders that have continuously led NCUDA USA. I think we are at that point where we at any given moment we think that we keep raising the bar higher and higher and higher and higher. And I think from Boni Njieh, NCUDA USA is in the right foot.
Yes, yes, thank you. Let me ask the convention chair in terms of hotel reservation, in terms of preparation, have you make allocation, people coming out of state, something, a discount or anything of that sort?
Uh, y- Thank you so much. We reach out to there's a committee for that, which is logistic. Uh, when we started this, we had an hall issue because the first hall that we first reserved, the hotels they were a little bit far away. Then luckily, like usually saying, they always have that opportunity. We had in a hall where there's just a hotel across the hall. So we reached out to them, and they said what they can do is we have to come back like 2 weeks before the convention. They have to give us those code, and everything is being taken care of by the logistics department.
Okay,
The
yeah. At least I'm glad to hear because that's one of the strenuous that uh, that people have driving if they have to have a break after traditional dances. Let me ask you: people enjoy? We're talking about culture. I know there will be. Are there going to be traditional dancing? Of course, I believe yes.
yes, yes,
So the event is actually starting on Friday. I believe the 19th.
Friday the 19th. Yes,
Okay, and on Friday 19th. So I want to thank you so much and for taking the time to spend with me here. So I hope to see you people. I hope the book launch goes well, especially this book. This is something that the bank people have not written a lot of books. Maybe slow in learning or not willing to read, not learning but reading difficulties. But I think it is important for younger children that are growing up now in the U.S., children that have been born here, to be able to read this book and understand the culture of their parents, so that that lineage can be reconnected, so that people should know somebody without a root is like a fish out of water. I believe so. So, any last word, President Emeritus?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Gaza Media. My last word is we Njieh people, we are inviting all sons and daughters of the BLM to join us in Columbus on beginning June 19th through the 20th to celebrate with us, to fundraise with us, and to grab a copy of the Njieh cultural heritage from the origin to 2025. This will take place under the patronage of His Royal Highness Eugene Fonge. A copy is going to go for $25, and we are calling on everybody to grab your copy. The books are selling fast. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, both of you, for taking the time to be again, dear viewer, dear Lebang people, dear the BLM community. This is NGA convention, which is going to take place again on the 20th, Saturday the 20th of June, about 3 weeks from now in Columbus, Ohio. And one of the biggest event or one of the biggest activity will be the book launch of this book that is a history book for I will call it the BLM entire the BLM community. It talk about the culture. It talk about not just the history of NGA, but it touches the culture of the Bang, the BLM across. Like I just went through the court system of. It also talk about marriages. I've read a couple of like marriages, how marriage is conducted, from what family, the right that you have to do, and all of that is something that is a book that everybody would like to grab a copy. I want to thank you so much and see you next time, and bye bye for now.